What up brothers, it's Clipper King returning. Welcome back to my channel for another new figure review. As you can see, or some of you might not know, the figure in front of you is the Shadow Ninja from Pop Toys. It's pretty much a bootleg version of Ra's al Ghul in the League of Shadows outfit from the Batman Begins. It's been kind of lent to me by a friend of mine in the Facebook community. Goes by the name of Ian Smith. A lot of you guys will probably know him. He's very active in the on the UK scene when it comes to 1/6 figures. Massive thank you to him for trusting me with his figure. It has come direct to me from the seller Kit Chen in Hong Kong. That might be a bit controversial because I know Kit Chen's not a lot of my other friends' favourite guy, simply because he sells a lot of recasted heads, but to each his own, business is business. So what I'll do, I'll crack straight on. I'll talk about the source material, although I won't score it because I don't do it anymore, and then we'll get on to the packaging. Right, let's crack on. Like I said, although I don't score source material anymore, I'm just going to say that Batman Begins is my favourite film from the Nolan trilogy. It weren't when I first watched it, but the more I watch it, the more I like it. I keep seeing new things and new things I find cool about it. And although I really love Joker from The Dark Knight, as much as that made me feel the film were awesome, the Rachel scenes and the Harvey Dent scenes just really pissed me off. I didn't like the Harvey Dent Two-Face character at all, so that's why I would rank Batman Begins as the best. And I also do prefer the Batman Begins suit as well, but that's just a little side note. So to get on to the scores, I think we'll roll on to the packaging. So I'll start off by saying that although Pop Toys is not a massive company, they have really tried with the packaging on this. It is a slip covered box, and I will say, although it was packaged from Hong Kong, not awesomely, I've got to be honest. It was just a layer of bubble wrap inside a plastic bag, so you're going to get a little bit of like a bump texture along here. I will say as well, the cardboard is not the best quality. It's a little bit lightweight feeling when you compare it to something like Hot Toys and definitely to something like Enterbay, so bear that in mind. The artwork is pretty good. Got your logos at the bottom and obviously a shot of the figure and then just the name above, the Shadow Ninja, and then down the side you've got the Pop Toys and then this serial number at the bottom. Once the outer slip is removed, you see another shot of the figure. This time it's the head sculpt, and I will say the shot doesn't do a lot of justice to the head sculpt on the figure. Obviously when it's in hand you do see the dimensions and you can move it around and look at it and see it does look more accurate than the shot shows, sort of thing. One thing I do like though about the lid of this box is it's a magnet attachment down both sides, and as we've seen before with a few other brands, that can be turned around to show a sort of an icy backdrop. And although I said on the unboxing it's sort of the background where they're fighting on the ice with Bruce Wayne, I realised that the clothes that he's wearing that wouldn't fit that scene. This is more when they're sort of inside the dojo area, the League of Shadows outfit. So yeah. And then when the magnet lid has been removed, we see the inlay slip again with the Shadow Ninja and another shot of the figure. So altogether, a really nice effort. Like I said, they're not a massive company, but the fact that they've tried really hard, and the inclusion of the magnet lid with the backdrop, so you could display it in your detofs behind the figure if you chose to, I think that's a really good idea. So for that, I am going to give the packaging a 4 out of 5. Moving on to the likeness, and as you can see, I have removed the mask. I'll start off by saying the sculpt is really nice. Got a lot of detail on it, the lines and wrinkles and the sculpt of the facial hair. I think all in all it is pretty accurate, including the hair and the nose shape in particular. I think they've caught the eyes really well. The paintwork also is very nice, very clean, but there's still something about it that makes me think it's not 100% accurate. And as much as I try and find images, I can't get a like-for-like comparison of this sort of expression. So I find it very hard to say what it is that throws the sculpt off. The best way I can describe it is anybody who's had a figure from like a third party or recasted figure or something like that, or recasted head sculpt, sorry, and you can see the resemblance, but it's not Hot Toys Jack Sparrow accurate. It's like that, and I don't know what it is. It's very hard to describe. I will say, I think most people would know it. The passing glance would say, yeah, we can see who it is. But I say it's not 100%, and I'm not sure why. I'm trying to give you every angle so you can make your own decision. I will say as well, to my eye, I think the paint is a little bit wrong colour on the goatee. I think it's a little bit too grey. So if it were my figure, one of the first things I would do is certainly darken that up. But I do like the inclusion of this sort of grey highlights through the hair. Like I said, the paintwork all in all is very, very clean looking. So good job there. I will say as well, because it's here, the mask does go on and off really easily. It's just a matter of sliding it in. That's a moulded piece, sort of the mouth and nose guard, and it is just a cotton mask. Sort of that's glued on, and then the two strands or ribbons, whatever you want to call them, straps. You just wrap them round and tie it so it would be tight around his neck with the knot at the back. And as you saw in the first pose, it does still look pretty nice. So a good job, but not a perfect job. But I think it still warrants a 4 out of 5. Rolling on to his outfit, and as you see, I still haven't changed the pose. Now that's down to the outfit a little bit. I'll make that clear shortly. But I will start off by saying the appearance of the outfit is really nice. They've done a lot of good work, although again, same as with the head sculpt, there's just a little bit of something that, I don't know, you think, oh, why have they done that? It's killed all the good work they've done, and there is a couple of things. But I think we'll start off by telling you, in fact, what I'll do is I'll show you head to toe first. You can see some of the details as we move down. And then I'll cover it piece by piece and tell you my likes and dislikes. What I'll do is turn it and get an idea of the outfit going up the back. And obviously the mask section is down there. You will see that again later in the review. So let's talk about the outfit from the ground up. It comes wearing a sort of faux leather boot with sort of a sculpted section on the front, like a toe guard kind of thing. The sculpt on the boots is really good. Like I say, it's a soft leather feeling, and it does have a real lace. And then in the box, it has these 2 shin guards, which are nicely painted and do go on really easily. It's just a elastic band section around the ankle, and then another elastic band sort of around the bottom of the calf area. Looks really nice when it's done, looks pretty accurate. So I do like that. As we move up, you see he's wearing sort of the, I think it's called a gi, or a, I don't know, fucking ninja outfit, whatever you want to call it. Again, done really good work because the tailoring is awesome. It's quite fitted to the lower leg, and then as you see, as it moves up here, the section stitched round, and then it sort of opens out with a pleat above the knee. So the upper portion of the legs, it bellows really nicely. Looks, I don't know, looks top quality. As we move up, you see the sort of the top of the outfit again around the neck, really nice cut and stitch. The inner shirt, the collar looks really nice. You see most of it is covered by the armoured section, but you can still see the quality is really good. As you move down, you see it folds from left to right, so it's down there, and then he has a belt tied round which connects to the back of this armoured section at the front. Now I will say these armoured sections are awesome. The sculpt on them and the paint is really good. Downside is, got to be careful when you're positioning the figure, because if you put your thumb on any of the armoured sections, it's a total and utter thumbprint magnet, and you get the like sort of greasy marks from your hands. I mean, my hands are always clean, but you know how like you just get them marks and then you've got to sort of rub them all off. Particularly on the chest, you can sort of see, I've hardly put my hand on it, yet it does pick the fingerprints up really easy. I suppose it's because it's the matte finish. But like I said, all the armoured sections are really nice, even down to the sculpt, to the sort of knotted section which leads into the strap there and there. Really nicely done. I will say as well, the side section, sort of that guard his ribs, don't fit to the body flush, so there is still some movement underneath. I don't know if I would have preferred it if it had been sort of warmed up and fitted flush to his body. I think, in all honesty, if it were my figure, I would do that up. Just warm it up with steam and I would hold it to the body, pretty much like I did with the Batman outfit. Moving down to the gauntlets, are amazing, I've got to say. I've seen some custom jobs on a League of Shadows Bruce Wayne, and I don't think I've ever seen a set of gauntlets as good looking as these. If I get in, show you the detail, and then the sort of silver wash over the top. Just looks really well, fits the arms really well. And moving down to the hand sculpts, you see the pattern sort of continues. They do like that. Moving up, the shoulder guards are attached to the strapping and do hinder his articulation a little bit, but I'll come back to that because that's not the major nitpick. But again, they do look good. The all over theme. One of my favourite things about the outfit is the fact that the belt is wired, as you can see. Has a really fine wire inside it, so you can have it like it's blowing off to the side, or you could have it straight down. I do really like that about it. Look round at the back. See the straps come round. He has the plate on the back, which has sort of got a ribbon that holds it together, and then you feed the sword sheath down through that, like so. Moving down, you see, still looking pretty nice. Now you're probably thinking, hurry up Rick and get to niggly nitpicks. You must have some, and I have. One of them is very simple, and it's that the split on the top of, I'm sure that's called a gear, I could be wrong. It only sort of goes up probably, what, just a bit bigger than my thumbnail would be, so maybe an inch. It should go right up to the belt, and the reason I say that is because when you try and articulate the figure, it holds his legs too tight into him. You can't sort of split his legs and get him into anywhere near like a crouch or a wide stance or anything too extreme, because the material's way too tight there. So that cut would need taking up about another centimetre and a half, so it will open. So that, as simple as it seems, it's just a nitpick, because every time I try and move the legs much wider than that, they just will not have it. So there is that. Another one, and this is a quality control issue, and this is how it works straight out of box. If you look where the strapping comes over the shoulder and it fits onto the back plate, it's attached at the sides there, and that's what's holding it in place. Here, the glue is sort of set and not held. Can you see? So you can see where the glue is on the strap, but it's not held to the upper section of that, and that has opened on both sides. Now you've noticed I took it out of the box, I've posed it, and that is how it is. I've not even got to extreme because it won't go extreme. So I just explained that. So like I said, all the good work, the appearance of the outfit, and just how accurate it is and how authentic it looks, that will gonna make me give it a 5. But the fact that it's got two simple little niggly nitpicks, I think, fucking hell, why have you done that? So for that reason, I think it's only fair that I just move it down a notch and just give the outfit a 4 out of 5. Rolling on to articulation, and as I've just alluded to, it's not fantastic. The legs in general are hindered at the top because of the outfit. The ankle articulation is pretty good because of the soft boot. The knees are double jointed but quite loose feeling. The top of the shoulder is hindered because of the armour. The elbows are articulated double bend but very loose feeling and really struggle to hold a pose. Biggest nitpick is the wrist pegs are total and utter dog shit, but the one good thing is the Bruce Wayne head will swap out, so you can use that sculpt. I would pretty much say if you're going to get the figure and you want to use the outfit and the head sculpt, that's all well and good. I would think about putting a better body underneath, because it is very cheap feeling, not very natural looking, and I don't know, struggles to hold a pose. For that reason, I'm only going to give the articulation a 3 out of 5, which is very low, I think, for a replica true type. I would throw the real thing on make sure it fits the outfit and the head sculpt, and that is the way I would go about it. I'm very limited to the pose I can do simply because of the upper shoulders and the upper leg, so what you see is what you get. Just to show you the wrist peg, when you're moving backwards and forwards, you get the feeling that the wrist peg is opening up on itself. You've probably seen it before on the cheaper figures, so yeah, just expect that as well. The hands do swap on and off quite nicely though, but like I say, bit loose feeling in places and limited in others by the outfit. So on the like I said, the articulation only gets a 3 out of 5. Moving on to the accessories, and it's another nosedive category. Hardly brings anything, pretty much just the weapon and the hands, if you're classing the mask as the part of the outfit. I'll show you the hands. You just got a relaxed style hand, obviously with the hand guard sculpted on, quite nice. The fist, and obviously on the figure are the sword holding hands. It does have the sword, which has a metallic feel, although the blade is black, as you can see. So yeah, when you hold it, it does have a cold feeling, like it is a metallic style blade, but it's okay. It's nowhere near the Snake Eye standard, but it's okay. The sheath, and then obviously everything else that's loose in the box, so the shin guards, that would be classed as part of the outfit. So very, very limited. Like I said, the mask does look nice when it's on, but I would also have scored that as part of the outfit. So all you're basically getting is the sword sheath and 4 spare hands, which is nowhere near enough. No stand included, so not much bang for your buck. I don't know, I think the fairest I can give it is a 1 out of 5 for the extras. I want to roll straight into value. Tell you, Ian told me how much you paid for this, but I forgot, and without putting my phone on, I think he said in the region of 120, could be wrong. I've checked it on eBay this morning. I think the cheapest one that I can see is about 111 shipped from Hong Kong to England, which, to be honest, even at that, I still feel you're not getting a lot for your £100. Bearing in mind I've recently bought the Joe Colton and the Roadblock for less than this figure cost, and I would take both of them figures over this one. I think a lot of people will pick this figure up though, simply for the outfit, and do the League of Shadows Bruce Wayne version, which is understandable. I think that is as good as the figure is. Take the outfit off it, put it on a true type, put a Bruce Wayne head on it, and you've got a nice looking addition to your Dark Knight collection. I'm going to give it a 3 on the value, because it's not a lot of money in this day and age compared to the other figures, but I think if you can pick it up for less than 100 shipped, then that is really where the figure should be priced, so bear that in mind. So like I say, on the accessories I gave it a 1, on the value I gave it a 3, which gives the figure a total score of 19 out of a possible 30. Which, I don't know, pretty much middle at road. I wouldn't go mad on it, but then again, I'm not a massive Batman fan anyway. But like I said, massive thank you to Ian for letting me see the figure. I think it is an interesting one, because like I said, some people don't jump on these bootleg or unlicensed style figures until they've seen reviews of them. So I hope this review's helped you. But either way, this is a Clipper King, and I'm out of here.